Form SSA-89. This is the authorization for the Social Security Administration to release Social Security number verification. You might be wondering why you would complete this form in the first place. This isn't a form that the Social Security Administration requires of taxpayers. Rather, this is a form that a third party might ask you to complete in order to verify your personal information, such as your Social Security number, with the Social Security Administration. So, for example, if you were applying for a job and your potential employer wanted to verify your name, identity, and your Social Security number, this form would allow the Social Security Administration to verify whether or not you are the person who you say you are. So the odds are high that you'll probably see this form in the proverbial stack of paperwork that you're filling out for someone else. So we'll skip down to the section that contains the most common reasons for authorizing consent. For example, taking out a mortgage, opening a bank account, applying for a credit card, applying for a loan, opening a retirement account, applying for a job, or to meet a licensing requirement. Or you could have some other plausible reason, and then you would just fill in that blank. So any of those things, the bank, for example, if you're applying for a mortgage, might ask you to fill out this form as well as a stack of other paperwork. And then they send this form off to the Social Security Administration, and the Social Security Administration comes back and says, yes, this person is the person that they say they are. So the intention of this form is not to give any more information than is absolutely necessary for the third party to verify your identity. At the top of this form, you will print your name, your date of birth, and your Social Security number. As we discussed, the reason for authorizing consent. Again, this is you giving the Social Security Administration authority to release your personal data, which you own, to a third party, which this form refers to as the company. So you'll complete the company name, address, as well as an agent. So a representative that you might be working with, the mortgage broker, for example, your potential supervisor or the HR person in the case of applying for a job. So this middle section right here just basically states exactly what you intend to do. That you authorize the Social Security Administration to verify your name and Social Security number to the company or the company's agent, if applicable, for the purpose that you've identified. You are the individual to whom the Social Security number was issued, or the parent or legal guardian of a minor, or the legal guardian of a legally incompetent adult. You're making a declaration and affirmation under the penalty of perjury that this is true and correct information, and if you represent anything that you know to be false, you could be found guilty of a misdemeanor and fined up to $5,000. Now, this next section states that the consent is good for only 90 days from the date that it was signed, unless you've indicated otherwise. So this is the standard, and for most companies, they don't need to have this permission on file for any more than 90 days. Usually, I believe that it takes 1 to 2 weeks for the Social Security Administration to actually process this paperwork and verify the information. And after that, the company has no legitimate or valid reason to keep this record open. Now, the Social Security Administration requires these companies to keep these completed forms on file for a certain period of time for retention purposes, for auditing purposes, because these companies that have agreements with the Social Security Administration, they are bound by certain agreements. So the consent is valid for blank days. Again, unless you change the number, it's going to be 90 days as a default. And then you'll be asked to initial right here in that spot. Signature below, the date of signature, and then if you're not the individual with the Social Security number, then your relationship to the individual. The rest of this information simply is the Privacy Act statement that you see on virtually every Social Security form, as well as the Paperwork Reduction Act statement. The estimate is that it should take you about 3 minutes to complete this form, and that's it. That is how you complete this form, and that is why you would complete SSA Form 89. If you have any questions, please refer to our website. You can go to teachmepersonalfinance.com, type in SSA-89, and you'll see the complete article that we've written on this topic. Thank you.